Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the Charlotte Silverwolves. This is the second to last time that I can say that because Out of the Park Baseball 26 comes out 2 weeks from today. I'm excited. I'm sure you're excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I really want to quickly talk about our plans for the series that at that point. We're going to finish this season, obviously. Um, Now, the question is, what do we do next week? I have a couple of ideas. Whether that is one full season, start to finish, we just do a mega episode and then finish with like kind of a memorial type of thing, just remembering how things went. That could be fun. We could do something like a quick tournament, maybe. But I think that's probably what's going to happen. I'm probably going to do a full season, start to finish, next episode. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be extra long, uh, and should hopefully be a great way to say goodbye to Out of the Park Baseball 25. Um, as a programming note and a reminder, I normally post these videos at 8 o'clock Central Time in the morning. However, on Friday, I won't have had time to have played the game yet, so it'll be at 8 o'clock in the evening in 2 weeks. So, gonna be a video. I guarantee it. It just won't be that video. It just won't be in the morning. It'll be in the afternoon because I have to work. So, but it'll be the first thing I do when I get done with work. I'm gonna be popping onto my computer, firing up Out of Park Baseball 26, and we're gonna hit the ground running. We're gonna go pow right there. So, enough about what's happening in 2 weeks. About what's happening this week. In a previous episode, we went through the off season, and there's not too much that's changed about our lineup. This is more about players that got lesser roles getting a bigger role for the most part. Sam Sexton is starting second baseman because Darren Heil is playing first base now. That's probably the most significant change from last episode. Is going to be having a far better infielder up the middle, which should hopefully help us out quite a bit with our defense. Guifon Cito barely played last season because of injury. We're hoping he can have a more full season this year. We should have one of the best infield defenses in the major leagues, in my opinion. With quarterman Joe Bach, last year's rookie of the year, and a surprise completely out of left field, or out of third base, maybe, helping us out there. So, Andy Gillens is playing left field. He's not great at it, but I'm okay with that. He's here to hit baseballs as hard as he can, and he is on borrowed time. If he has another subpar season, I'll probably just cut him and eat the 18 million for next year. Our rotation, the big change is the addition of Arturo Ayala, who was kind of our big free agent expenditure. A Cuban who has French nationality, very fancy. We've got him signed for a handful of years, and seeing if he can be another great arm in the rotation to pick up from the retired Ernie Jarvis. Ian Pluvios has flirted with starting games. He started one game in the past 3 games last year. We're going to let him start from day one. I don't know how I feel about that, but in the absence of Dan Sutton and Jeffrey Craig, I'm not opposed to it. Bullpen is pretty similar with the addition of Jamari Arkansas. Mr. Arkansas here was a Rule 5 draft pick, and we're going to give him a chance to show that he can pitch at a high level if down at a C level. We also have the weird Daniel Rocca situation where the game really wants to sign him to a longer term deal, but they keep also making him like a lefty killer for no reason, which I find very strange. I don't really feel like spending a bunch of money for a pitcher that's that limited, but we'll figure it out. That being said, let's baseball. But yeah, Andy Gillens is on a very thin ice this season. Very thin. Okay. You can both go away, I guess. Oh, Sean Browse, I think, was taken in the Rule 5, and he must have been returned to me. Got it. I mean, Andy Gillens has 3 home runs already in the first 6 games, so clearly he's like, oh shit, my job's in jeopardy. I better figure this out. Maybe this is just a me thing. Since Alex Rodriguez quote, I can't imagine being that excited about buying clothing. Like, that's just not me. If that's you, fantastic. I hope it brings you much joy. But for me, it's just like, eh. I don't really care about buying clothing. Um, it's just not something that interests me. Yeah. Okay. First month of the season, we're not doing so great, but it's so early on that I don't care. We're just gonna keep plowing away. Um, I say this every time I play, but I just think it's really important to remember that you shouldn't be making drastic changes to your team based off of minimal plate appearances. You just don't know how good they actually are yet. Jeffrey Craig is being traded. He's not good enough at either of his jobs to be given the role that he has. He's about to get really expensive, and I just don't think he's that interesting a player. We're going to trade him and try to get ourselves a quality prospect or two. Let's start looking for a package. Somebody's going to be like, holy shit, a two-way player. There's got to be some. Nope. Nobody? Okay. Nobody wants him at all. I find hard to believe. I think it's just nobody wanted to pay multiple players for him. Really? Jeffrey Craig is that sus that people like aren't even willing to talk about him at all. That is truly bizarre. And I'm not going to be the one that's going to give him his deal. If he doesn't want to get signed, he doesn't want to get signed. But yeah, I have no desire to keep him around. He can't stay healthy. Am I prepared to cut him? Probably not. I don't want to give him away for free, but I'll certainly let him rot in the minors and think about what he's done. I think Juan Carmona's got to go. I don't know whether he's smart enough to opt out or not, but if he does opt out, I will happily take that. I think Carmona is way overpaid given his actual value to this team, especially with Armenta and AAA waiting for an opportunity. I just don't see a lot of benefit to us messing with that. I just got an achievement for save streak. That's wild. Is that genuinely the first time I've ever gotten that particular achievement? Question mark. It is 40 game save streak in a row. Well, hot dog. We're actually kind of bad this year, which is, I mean, again, super duper early in the season. But it's weird that we're not scoring at all. And it does cause me some concern. Like maybe Darren Heil isn't taking the first base very well. I'm sure we can figure it out, but I'm certainly not enamored of getting off to an ice cold start. We can have Rocky Graves back. Do I care? Not especially. Do I really have to put him on the 40 man? Do I have spot? I have room. I just don't think he's good enough. I don't think he interests me. Yeah, I traded with him. I traded for him near the deadline, and he's just not that great a pitcher to me in my opinion. Hmm. I'm gonna rehab him in case somebody gets hurt, but I'm not super duper likely to be interested in what he has to offer me. It's also possible the A's just got a whole lot tougher this year. Like very few people are significantly above 500 at this point in the season. That was 50 years ago. That's fucking wild, man. Wow, that solves that issue. Cool story, bro. All right. Casey Choda's out for 5 months again. Hey, they think they can make him blast as a first baseman. I mean, that's as good an idea as any, I guess. 10-0 beatdown. Sergio Carrillo got a shutout. Nice. Was it actually a proper shutout? It was. Exactly 100 pitches. This is pitching excellence. That's good shit. How on earth he didn't get player of the game when he literally pitched a shutout is crazy to me. But I also don't think it matters all that much. 5 hits for Tovar, including 2 home runs. Nice. Darkins. Jabari Britford shut somebody out. Nothing too crazy has happened in terms of improvements. I think Jorge Armenta definitely needs to be given an opportunity next season. I don't know where it's going to come from, but I think he definitely needs to be considered quite strongly. Okay. Not cool, Danny Kerstetter. Not cool. Ungood. Sid Tracy also hit a wall. That's a bummer. He was our first round pick last year. He still seems like he'll be an okay player, but he's not the same kind of player, which makes me a little bit sad. Jesus Rivera is the #1 hitter in the Southern League. Good to know. Darren Heil is struggling. Um, and if you look at our offensive stats, as a team, we're struggling. There's clearly something has changed about this team's performance offensively because this isn't a great start for us. Pat Martinez is playing extremely well. You can't complain about a guy that hits 302 with 4 home runs. Andy Gillens is cranking homers. He's just not doing a lot other than that, which I'll accept. But Darren Heil is ice cold to start the season. His power's still there. His power's absolutely still there. He's still a good hitter. He's just not MVP caliber. Now, maybe he'll work a little bit on his approach. I hope he does. Strikeouts have gone way up. That needs to change. He's supposed to not strike out very often, so hopefully he can figure out his stuff and get back to hitting where he needs to. Very few of these players I'm looking at are like, oh my god, they're having terrible seasons. They deserve to be like shoved in a wood chipper or whatever. But there's definitely room for improvement with our lineup for sure. Yeah. How are we doing defensively? Are we at least checking off that particular box? Yeah, Sexton's great. Bach is great. Cito isn't, which is a little disappointing. I think we just need to hold out hope for another month at least before we make any changes, because I don't see anybody here that is obviously way out of their depth. Yeah. Cool. Ayala is pitching effectively. He doesn't have any wins yet, but that's not his fault, it looks like. Look at this strikeout to walk ratio. That's insane. If you'd stop giving up home runs, that would be lovely. But he is pitching quite effectively. Jasky's walk rate has spiked. That's not a good look. I don't like that. Creo's amazing, and Pluvios is also pitching pretty effectively. Yeah. Home runs across the border up. So I'm wondering if something has happened with this pitching staff, like collectively. I don't know. Bullpen looks solid other than Mr. Arkansas here and Skenandori, but that's okay. Let's play another month and let's see if players start to heat it up a little bit. I mean, we just won a game 13-0. That's the kind of shit you like to see. Personal message. Fucking Cito just gained like 25 points of batting average. So I think it might just be small sample size for some of these guys, and that they'll figure it out. Like, we don't have to have a dominating offense to be successful, but I think we have to have a very good one because we don't have, like, we have the top pitching that's as good as we've ever had. But Carmona's been a disappointment. Yeski's still very young. I think there's just a lot going on here. Andres Fuentes, is Arkansas still struggling? He's doing okay. Let's go and let Mr. Fuentes here go ahead and rehab a bit. We can revisit the conversation at the end of his month to see if we want to keep him or if we want to send him back to the minors or whatever. We're not scoring consistently. That is a concern. Like, we can put up a 10 or 15 spot, but we're not scoring like 3 to 4 runs every game. It's we're binging on runs and then not doing so good in the future. Fucking Eric Infuso. What a legend. What a genuine legend. I think OOTP needs to rebalance catchers. It seems like it's way too easy to get an amazing catcher, at least in this save anyway. Maybe it's not actually accurate. Maybe it just seems that way because we're awesome, but I don't think that's the case. What if you didn't shut me out? What if that didn't happen? Huh? Joe Brook. 3 home runs for Moncada. All right, let's have a sneak peek of what the team looks like right now. We are in first place in the AL East. We had to start with that. Okay. So we're still seeing people struggle to hit the ball consistently. What is the current league leading average? 371. So there's something very odd happening this year. We're just, as a whole, we're not hitting. It could be the new hitting coach. Like, maybe people are struggling to adapt to his style. Because remember, Mr. Denis Fortier was not our hitting coach last season. He was the hitting coach for AAA. He gets along great with hitters. I struggle to think why we would struggle with him all of a sudden. But it's very clear that we're just struggling to hit, like top to bottom. Like, we're all hitting for power, which is nice, but no one's hitting for average. And the on base skills are also somewhat lacking. I mean, not Darren Heil. I know Darren Heil's average looks like shit, but he's actually as good a hitter as he's been in the past. He's still putting charges in baseballs. We're just not getting enough consistency. Um, this lineup is kind of sus right now. And we're talking about this, 200 plus at bats. We ought to be seeing who they truly are. And the entire lineup slumping at the exact same time does cause me some concern. I don't know what we do about it. Like, I'm not gonna rush Jeffrey Craig back to the majors because I think he sucks. Um, A guy like David Lozada actually would be pretty welcome. A big time on base guy. But I also want him to get lots of time in the upper minors this year so that he'll be ready to play every day in the majors when we do call him up. How's the pitching looking? I like this screen better as a quick overview. Um, we're doing okay. Carmona is really annoying the fuck out of me. For the amount of money this dipshit is being paid, I should be expecting high level pitching, and I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I'm not even getting it a little bit. I'm getting average pitching, and that's not what we need. Ayala's got to start keeping the ball down. That's a huge problem. Jeske has got to start striking people out a bit more, I guess. Jeske actually looks like a little bit of a better pitcher than Ayala, which is a little concerning to me. And Pluvios probably shouldn't be starting. Period. Um, I have Armenta, I have Lampman, both of whom are decent to good pitchers. The bullpen is really good. Um, I just wish you would use Roca more often. Like, I don't like him being the ultimate lefty killer, but I guess if that's the best way to use him, that's how we use him. I also switch him like the fact he's lost velocity. Like, a fair bit of velocity, too. Um, and he still wants like 10 million a season. I just don't think that's a smart investment. I truly don't think that's a good use of our money. Even if it makes the owner grumpy, like, I don't think that's smart. Oh, someone wanted to know what Jim Barnes's personality. He still has a controlling physical personality. He wants to make money, but he's also involved. I'm gonna discuss this one. I really don't want to resign Roca. I'd rather try to get a Cy Young Award winner. I think that's actually more feasible than giving a reliever a giant contract, especially when it's not even closing. Like he's not even pitching in the most important situation. So yeah. Okay. Let's do we make any moves? The bottom part of the lineup is gross. Like the bottom part of the lineup is really struggling. Not Pat Martinez, but like starting with Cito. Tim Wood is fine, I guess. Sam Sexton is meh. I feel like we're really holding ourselves back at this point. And unless Sam Sexton is like genuinely a Gold Glove caliber second baseman, I don't know that it's worth carrying him. But then again, who am I going to get, right? Like, who do I have on this team that I can look at and say, yes, this person is an improvement over our current situation? It ain't Tim Davis. Tim Davis is an okay hitter without a position. I've had loads of those. Absolute loads of those. Um, let's have a quick chat. Ooh, how good is Padilla actually? Padilla is pretty damn good, but he's also kind of far away from being ready for the majors, I think. But he is pretty good. I feel like Bachman is hoping for him to figure it out. If he's 21 years old and can't dominate high A, I think we just trade him. I think there's just no point in hanging on to him. I think he's a busted prospect. I know there's that chance he hits another gear, and if he does, I welcome him doing that, but it's not going to be for me. I don't really want another first baseman. I want more infield options. Joe Size. I don't know what's called him. Um, okay defender, okay hitter. I'd like to be better than okay if I could be so bold. Let's look at infielders action. Let's narrow down our list a little bit. Also, out of the park moments, give me better filters here, please. I beg of you. I require it. Man, everybody's got first baseman to part with, but nobody has like interesting young infielders. Caleb Phelps is not a second baseman. He just isn't. Andres Medina doesn't excite me. I want somebody without a major league contract. So that I don't have to worry about where to play. You're not a fucking shortstop, bro. You're kind of a shortstop. I mean, look, I'm giving up a mid-tier first baseman. I shouldn't be shocked if I don't get an amazing deal, but I should be able to get better than I'm getting. Like, what about an actual fucking second baseman? Luis Rosado can play second. I guess Rosado is a decent flyer to go for. I think Rosado is currently the leader in the clubhouse, but let's keep looking. And nope. Yeah, every high rated player so far that's being offered to me is a first baseman. Salazar is a terrible second baseman. Um, and I need infielders. I don't care if second baseman or shortstop, just have to be good. Okay, Chris Lawson I also like. He's certainly not flawless, but I do think he is okay. What's in between Lawson and Rosado? That was his name, right? It was Rosado. Oh no, where'd he go? Rosado. Was it Rosario? Am I losing my mind? Maybe. Conceivably. It wasn't Ramon. It wasn't Robles. Yeah, it's Luis Rosado. Yeah, okay, I was right. So here's the thing with Rosado. Rosado has an interesting offensive skill set where if he can club home runs, which he has clearly proven the ability to do in the minor leagues, having that at second base is a pretty nice thing to have. He's also super fast. So Rosado offers a bit of an exotic package, but he offers some upside. Whereas our other friend here, let me find him again. Wasn't Moreno, was it? No, because the guy's a 44. Is it Salazar? No, it's not Salazar. Salazar is a decent hitter, but he's not a second baseman. Lawson. Yeah, Lawson offers more defensive chops, and he's a little bit more well-rounded in terms of offensive package, but doesn't have that like upper tier upside. His minor league record is also questionable. We can look at Chris Van. I think we take Rosado. I think that's the choice. And I know it may not be a slam dunk, but we're talking about like a failed prospect for a prospect that might be less failed. It's essentially what we're talking about here. Could we get more for him? Possibly, but probably nothing that we're going to be excited about. Chris Esterline interests me. I do like pitchers that have some. No, you don't like Esterline. Okay. I feel like my assistant GM is getting suckered by Bachman's so far ephemeral upside. Like he has no track record in the minors. He's had one good year in the minor leagues, which was his second rookie season. He's a big fucking dude. Like, that is a true statement. He's a big guy. And if he could put it together, I think he's a scary hitter. I just don't think he can put it together. I think he's just struggling too much. I guess, look, the alternative is we just keep him around. Maybe we make this like his last season. Because Rosato's not so good that I'm like, oh my god, what an amazing deal. Juan Vega is fine. I don't dislike Juan Vega. Hmm. Panootin? Nah. Maybe I just don't care anymore. Maybe I don't want him. Yeah, I think maybe we hang on to him and we can talk about something to do with him later on. Like, I know he's blocked by Heil. That's probably the number one reason this is even occurring to me, is that he is blocked by Heil. But I don't know. I don't know. Have you guys considered hitting better? Has that been a consideration for you, potentially? I'm just gonna go the next month for now. I just get the feeling that there aren't easy upgrades, and I want there to be a bit more sense of urgency if I am gonna sell out for an upgrade. Okay, Steve Vilsant is fine, but I kind of like Maurizio here. I think he's okay. Eric Craig, look, he's not a shortstop, he's a third baseman. He's a good third baseman. I'm not complaining about it, but I don't think I care that much. Armando's out for another 9 months. That is deeply troubling to me because Armenta is the next man up. Now it's up to TJ Lampman if one of my pitchers gets hurt. I don't know how I feel about that. Not great. That's for sure. Not great. Yeah. Maybe it's all about them not gelling with the new hitting coach, maybe. A torn ligament in the thumb is a big ouchie. So hopefully Garrett Morris can recover. Who's next man up for backup? It's Jeff Scott, it looks like. Okay. That's fine. What did you do during the draft? We just need quality players, right? It doesn't really matter what the position is. You're out for 2 days. You'll be back in 3 weeks. I'm gonna keep all my coaches. I don't see any reason to make any changes this season. Oh, Scott Hooen is like, I'm gonna hire my own pitching coach. Well, fuck you then. Me. I've won the World Series 3 times. Meh. I guess he can do things the way he wants. I guess. It is very lame of him to insist. I suppose I can't argue too much. What do we do with Andres Fuentes? He's getting his brains hammered in the PCL. Let me go ahead and put him on in the minors. Oh no, I see what the issue is. It's not going to trigger him as being sent down. Let me designate you for assignment. And then I can go ahead and send him to AAA. Oh, that's the issue. He's got a contract. Let's put him on the 40 man and then just have him stay in AAA. I think it's fine. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're first in the AL East. I think it would be a mistake to call this season like, oh my god, we're such a terrible team now. But it is telling that the entire team from top to bottom is struggling with offense. That's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. And no matter how good we are defensively, we can't be zeros offensively. Somebody's got to score runs. Pujols needs to stop starting. Like, I'm sorry, he should not be starting. If he's not starting, then who should be our starting pitcher in his place? Yeah, Pluvios is a medium tier starting pitcher. I guess he's not terrible, but he's not very good either. And I think Lampman would actually be a better choice. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe he's not better. Maybe we just need to kind of just let it ride for right now. It's conceivable. Right, what are we looking at here? We're looking at some disappointing hitters. That's what we're looking at here. Um, like Darren Heil is still a very good player. And part of his adjustment is just actually playing first base instead of second. And honestly, if he stays healthy, that's more valuable to me than him playing a premium defensive position anyway. But it's also not a coincidence that we're struggling so badly offensively when he's not at his very best. Um, we're hitting bombs. Like, we are hitting homers. We're still good at that. 113th, 8th in the league, 11th, 4th in batting war. But we're not making contact. Other than Andy Gillens. Does this count as a bounce back for Andy Gillens? It's not a bounce down. Like, the big difference is this year is his power is back. Which is good. Like, we want him hitting for power. But we don't have a real on base machine right now, other than Heil. We take a quick peek at our batting stats and we look by OBP. It's Heil, then it's Bach, and then it's very little. We need Lozada, who of course is injured. God damn it, dude. Really? But I need an on base machine. I need somebody that just gets on base at a super high clip. And Lozada seems to fill that particular need. I think the other thing we need to do, we need to give up on Cito. He's not totally helpless, and I think that's the great trap with this current lineup. Nobody is completely helpless except for maybe Sam Sexton, um, who is barely above replacement level, mostly because he's a really good second baseman. But I know we're going to find a good combo second baseman that can both handle the position and also hit fairly well. Maybe it's Jeff Raven. Like, Jeff Raven certainly has a pretty good glove. He's certainly a competent offensive performer. He's got a track record of hitting okay. I just don't know that I necessarily am gonna go out of my way to make him a thing. Is there anybody of interest here? I mean, Bouger maybe. Bouger could play third. Yeah, we just lack top quality infielders right now. And maybe that's something we can fix, but also maybe it's something that we can't fix. Um, Garibay is such a fascinating player that's had such a topsy-turvy career. He could be massive. Like, he could genuinely be an all-star second baseman if he can get his shit together. I just don't know that he can get his shit together. I don't know that that is the thing he's capable of. I see better fucking hitting prospects is what I need. Eh. Moncada's not terrible, but he's not good either. Rivera's fine, but again, he's not special. If we're going to improve this offense, it's going to have to come from outside the organization, I think. Who's presently on the trade block? I mean, a guy like him would be amazing. I don't know where we play him, though, is the thing. Like, I don't have room for an outfielder. How could you take a guy like. I mean, Anchundia seems like a really good player. Like, he seems like he would fit in pretty well at the right position. Okay, Ramiro Figueroa is a really good second baseman that we'd also have for next year too. He's offensively not that special, but he is a captain. Mr. Juan Trevino is pretty good too. I think I could see us going after him as well. All right. So the best hitter that's on the market is Grenfell. He's also highly injury prone and not in a position I can readily find him a spot at. I mean, I guess we could bench Tovar, send him to the minors to figure it out. I feel like he's still a pretty big contributor, even if he's not playing at his very best. So I don't know how I feel about that. Um, and I don't want to sell out this team's proverbial future just for the sake of maybe getting one more title. Although maybe I should be willing to do that. I don't know. Gavarette doesn't interest me. All right. So Figueroa is a good player who's kind of expensive, but can also play second base really well. Like he's every bit the defender that Sexton is. He's just a bit more accomplished with the bat. What is Mr. Figueroa gonna take me to acquire? All right, very very little, which is what I like to see. I want to keep Bandon around. Bandon's got a shot to get some real center field time with this club. I could flat out trade you Sexton. I like having Sexton though as a backup. You want Chris Santa Barbara? You can have him. All right. So what this means is this probably means Sexton to the minors, and it means Figueroa gets his job. Because I keep Sexton in the majors, I'm concerned that the majors is gonna like LOL. We're gonna start him anyway. Hmm. Um, Adding Moncada as a bench bat could be interesting over Deliston. Like Deliston's all over the place. I think his time has come probably. I don't think he's a good enough hitter to even be a bench bat on this club. What would people give me for Deliston? Is there a market for guys like Deliston? Maybe. We could bring Jeffrey Craig back, actually. Potentially. I don't know how I feel about that. What would people give me for Deliston? Is there a market for him at all? Probably not. It's not that good. I'm gonna send down Deliston and I'm gonna call up Moncada and we're gonna let Moncada play the outfield. Potentially. Let me just quickly turn you into a right fielder. Just so that the numbers look right. And what he is that no one else on this team is he's a batting average guy who also happens to be good at drawing walks, which is pretty handy to have. Um, what else? What else? I feel like I need somebody to replace Pluvios, but maybe I don't, and maybe I just need to shut up about it and see if he can actually do the job. Are any of my relief pitchers struggling? Because I would like to get some fresh blood here. Only Chris Lane. And Lane's not struggling that badly. He is getting hit harder than he has in the past, but it's mostly because he's been walking a lot more people. So we'll have to think about what to do with him. But let's go ahead and advance up to All-Star teams being announced. Like trading for veterans is something we can definitely do given the amount of money that we have to spend. So maybe a guy like Figueroa will actually make a big difference here. Then again, maybe he won't, but it certainly doesn't hurt us to have his bat in the lineup as opposed to who we've got right now. Carrillo made the All-Star team. Chris Wilson made the All-Star team. None of my hitters made it. Honestly, that's fair. Yeah. I think Darren Heil probably never makes another All-Star team again because he's playing first base now. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I am saying it's going to take him a lot more to be the kind of hitter that is guaranteed to have an All-Star team appearance. I don't hate it. I'm just a little sad. Bobby Compton got invited to the All-Star game. So did Kevin Molina. Nice. This is just a weird year. Like, it's just a strange year. And then maybe that's fine. I don't know. We get Garrett Moore's back. That's pretty decent. I think a guy like Jeff Scott is perfectly fine as our backup for now. Let's go ahead and let Moore's rehab in the minors. Like, if Martinez got hurt, I'd call up Moore's 10 seconds later. But I don't know. All right, first year player draft. All players, and we're just gonna auto draft until I get to pick. Okay, there's one blue chipper left who's a reliever. I don't think so, man. I'm not saying I wouldn't draft him, but I'm not gonna take him, with my first round pick when he isn't that great a reliever. Yeah. Mike Daly's center fielder who can't center field, that doesn't strike me as I need to pay him all of the money. Alfredo Barajas is pretty decent. Nice, a decent velocity, a good mix of skills here. 5 different pitches. But he's not very smart, which gives me some concern. Jim Clinton is better than the other guy. Absolutely, he's better, except for not throwing as hard as you'd like. Danny Froelish, maybe. This is an underwhelming first round pick option here. Okay, Chris Bumbaugh has top level power with good batting eye. I think he's our pick. I'm not saying he doesn't have flaws, but elite level power plus the ability to make decent contact plus the ability to take walks, that's the kind of guy that we want. That is the kind of gentleman that would be a fun addition to our roster. Okay, I will take Denny Sinclair in the second round. He's significantly cheaper at that level. Fine. Offer you the slot. Maybe we'll try to be something special. Who knows? Nate Cole is meh. Vicente Aguilar is fine, I guess. You know what? Patchoulette is. We can take Pat Gillette. We can do that. I think he's interesting enough to be worthy of a draft pick. All right. Let's sort by batting potential. I want contact. Jeremy Hinton hits for contact but nothing else. That's not good. Let's look at Babbitt potential. That's more what I'm looking for here. Mike Daly is a good hitter. And it's not like I don't have anything. It's not like I don't have, $100 million burning a hole in my pocket. Maybe drafting him is okay. Maybe. How much money does he even want? He wants more than $8 million. I can hand him $10 million. I have no qualms about offering that kind of talent that much money. I figured he's wanted like $20 million, which is why I wasn't interested in him before, but now I am very interested in him. If Eric Robertson had a position other than second base, I would very strongly consider him. Even as it is, though, he's such a good all-around hitter that I think we go for it. I'll even pay him his salary demand. That's the kind of guy I am. I like Josh Long. I like this kind of offensive portfolio. Um, I think we go for him. We also could go for Charlie Guest instead. I do like Charlie Guest better. We'll take Charlie Guest. Sorry. Sorry. He probably got all excited and he's like, damn, I didn't get drafted. What a lame piece of shit. Oh, we can get Josh Long anyway. Nice. Alright. I mean, look, it's unlikely that any of these guys are going to have an impact on the team since we literally have one more episode after this one. But still, it's still nice to treat it as like a proper kind of thing here, and not just go LOL. I don't care. Because who knows? Maybe I'll play this for myself again someday. Maybe. Pitching potential. Jaheim Locust is pretty decent. He's not flawless, but he's pretty decent. But I guess I should at least look. There's like guys with like 50 potential left. That pitch. I should have been specific. I apologize. Hmm. Mr. Blanco isn't an impressive pitcher by any stretch of the imagination. Like, he's fine. He's got good high school numbers. He does have potentially good control and doesn't give up a lot of home runs. This is not like a future major league starter right now. Right now. But I'm so interested in him. I still think he's got something to offer, so I'm willing to give him a chance. Franciscus the Ambler is a pretty great name. I think we can agree on that one. He's a screwballer? Okay, I'm listening. Decent control, decent stuff. He's super tall and thin, which means he'll probably add velocity as he gets older. I think he is an Amblin man that is worthy of our team. Let's go back to hitters. This is clearly not a very strong pitching draft. Joe Yurko. Man, sometimes after a night of drinking, I will Yurko. Poor guy. Okay. Um, if only Mike Ballou here could actually play the outfield. Um, he's worthy of a draft pick, I guess. Like, he's got enough physical tools that maybe he'll turn into something. But right now, he's just kind of there. Which is fine. Not everybody has to be quintuple elite. Mr. Ben Abervine here is not that good. Joaquin Boulan, sure. Man, all you fuckers think you deserve actual paychecks, which I guess you do. I guess. I guess you're allowed to have a paycheck as a treat. What about Raw Thump? What do we got on tap for Raw Thump? Mike Hines is our Raw Thumper. We're drafting a lot of catchers, but they also have to be the best choices, so I'm not concerned about that. A first baseman with no power whatsoever is an interesting look. I'll draft him, I guess. I don't really see anything else that compels me at this stage in the draft. All pitchers, please. Jesus Salazar is worth drafting. He's got two great pitches, throws super hard, decent stuff. He's certainly not a finished product, but he is at least decent. I can live with that. Let's look for home run rate potential. Who's really good at keeping the ball down? Say hello to Dan Williams. Dan Williams is just a really good reliever. Like, especially, and I can't stress this enough, at this velocity as a lefty. Lefties who can pump the ball in the mid 90s are pretty damn special. So I think he is more than deserving of a draft pick. For certain. Chris Arroyo. I don't know that you're a starter, but I like where your head's at. I think you've got a nice mix of pitches. Your velocity is low. So you might not have an amazing time in the major leagues, and your control is awful. I can't take that risk. I'd rather take like a Kangaroo Shaw, who at least has good control. Because if a guy can't throw strikes, he's not going to be a good pitcher. He just isn't. You know? If you know, you know. Bobby Antonori, sure. Any other thumpers? Like, wow. Oh, we're looking at pictures. Ha 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 ha. I was like, wow, no power hitters left. Disgusting. Do I really want even more catchers? Probably not. Probably Mac Jeffrey is a better choice. Probably. You know what? Alvarado, you're in. You son of a bitch. There we go. Draft over. Because they're consistently picking so low in the draft, we're just not getting the blue chippers, and that's fine. We haven't needed blue chippers. We've been able to get players from surprising spots in the draft. Um, yeah. Like, I think our highest rated draft pick was Giacoletto, who was pretty damn good, but not anything like amazing. Inappropriate and aggressive conduct. Oh noes. Alright. Justo got 17 strikeouts. Is somebody I need to pay more attention to? Oh, he's somebody I must have almost drafted. Interesting. Fascinating. Oof. 15-2 is gross. That's not very good. I need to get a new pitching coach. That's fair. Oh, he's my rookie league pitching coach. I thought he was a different coach than that, but he wasn't. I like Villarreal a little bit better as a pitching coach, if I'm being honest with you. I know he's only rated average at teaching pitching, but he's good at influencing mechanics, and I think that's critical for a rookie league pitching coach. So we're gonna give him a shot. I don't know what we I don't know what we pursue at the trade deadline, if anything. Are they really giving you a better offer? No, you're getting a fucking major league job. That's why you're being weird right now. You're being. I'll take Reggie Mayer then. I don't care. I don't know why I was offering him a major league job, but sure. I feel like Ignacio Tovar is young enough that we could send him to the minors potentially, and he'd bounce back in a big way. If I did that, I would want a highly capable veteran outfielder to take over for him. So I will check the trade deadline. Okay, Garrett Morris is healthy. He's played pretty well in the minors. So let's go ahead and send Jeff Scott back to the minors and bring back Mr. Moores. He's the moops. Nice. Good old Chris Cram got himself a package. Nice. 40 years old, huh? Okay. I'm listening. All right. So what are we looking at here? Who's actually playing well, who's not playing so well? We need offensive help. That's pretty apparent. And I do like somebody who can get on base at a really good clip to make the rest of this lineup better. And clear that player is not Ignacio Tovar. For whatever reason, while last season he was amazing, this year not so much. Maybe our hitting coach is more important than I realized. However, I think Tovar needs to go back to the minors to figure out what he's doing. So that means we're in the market for a rental outfielder. We are in the market for a rental outfielder. You would give me Humberto Donato and Zach Hebert. Neither one of you guys are all that special. I don't want to be that guy, but you're not. It's certainly not for a player that actually has some upside left to him. So I think we politely but firmly reject your trade. Do we take a Grenfell? Maybe? Okay. If we add him, we're going to get a shot in the arm in a lot of ways. He's a really good hitter. He's a competent outfielder. And he's a pro. He knows what he's doing. He's also injury prone as shit. And hasn't played 100 games in a couple years now. Maybe it just means he's rested. I don't know. I'll come back to him, but I want to keep looking for right now. I want to look and see what other choices we might have available to us. I'm not bringing Gavarette back. I don't think he offers what we're looking for. Rivera's not that interesting. Now, see, Archundia has a couple things that really speak to me here. He's not as good an outfielder. He's not as good defensively, but he's much better offensively. He's got a great batting eye, good contact, decent power. He's also significantly younger, and he doesn't have the injury history. I think Cancundia could be the kind of guy we're looking for. It's all going to depend on what Toronto wants in exchange. And he wants somebody truly special, which is not going to happen. I'm just not giving up any players of that caliber. I know your argument's going to be, but Avi, if you're not going to keep Lozada anyway, why not just take the sure thing right now and trade Lozada? Maybe. Look, Lozada is the best prospect in the minor leagues. Hell, Lozada could be Arcundia if we played him right now. Can I get him for something less? What if we started by offering Ignacio Tovar? Okay, Tovar and something gets the deal done. Am I comfortable with that? I think I am. And I think I'm fine with including Pluvios as well. I just think it makes us a better team. I just think it makes us better. And not just a little better, but significantly better. If you have a starting pitcher you'd be willing to part with, I would take it. Like Chris Foley. But or what do you have in the majors actually? Do you have any interesting starters in the majors? Not really. I can't get Foley. We've already established that. I would genuinely take Reda Penning if you're willing to give him up. No? Okay, let's come back to this one. Discuss. It's very close. Nah, we just take this trade. I know this makes assistant GM grumpy. I get it. We're taking a big swing here, and I think it's one that could potentially pay off. And then TJ Lampman gets called up to start. All right. And then we have to start offering him a new contract. This is eminently reasonable. I only wish there were 2 team options at the end of it. And then if we do part with Andy Gillens, then that's the job that Lozada gets. This is reasonable to me. All right. That's it for the trade deadline. But I think this truly transforms our team. I'm gonna miss Tovar, and if I weren't going to be ending the series in another week, I probably would have just kept Tovar and just sucked it up because I think Tovar has a chance to be a really great player. But I need someone who can offer us a big offensive impact right this second, and Encundia is that guy. Like he's actually a very good player. I don't know why it's taken him this long to actually break out, but I like him a lot, and I think he offers exactly what this team needs. So that's my thinking anyway. Do you want to add in a starting pitcher? Maybe. BY Mellon's not that good. I mean, I do need a Cy Young winner to make my owner happy, so maybe there's something to be said for picking a pitcher that's done it already, like Shamar McField. Absolutely. If I can get a really good starting pitcher to help us with the stretch run, I'm more than happy to do that. This also doesn't force me to start Lampman, which is something that's kind of concerned about. Jamari Arkansas fucking sucks. You can go back to your home team, and Mr. McField can show up here and just give us even more stability in the rotation. Um, yeah. I don't think we're going to bring McField back. I don't think that's a sensible decision, but I do think it is a good deal. I think it's a good deal. I think we're probably less likely to regret this one than we would be to regret the Tovar deal. Probably. Maybe. Here's the thing: if we don't win the World Series this year, that's fine. Um, I'd like to win the World Series. It would make me very happy if we won the World Series. But if we don't win it, I don't consider this like, oh no, we pushed in all of our chips and we came up short. This is just trying to get better in the short term, but not necessarily to the point where it's like the only thing that matters to me. If I were playing this for another 5 or 10 seasons, I would not have traded Tovar. Um, I would not have done it, but I am. I'm gonna be finishing this save next week, so I think it's the right choice. And we did get our big fat market, which is great. Oh, I guess I do owe us offering pitching coaches offers, don't I? Minor league coaches, because you can't stop me from doing that. Like, if we still struggle to score this season, that's fine. Like, I can't do anything about it at this point. I'm trying to put us in the best position to succeed. If we're just not doing it, we're not doing it. Um, was pulling. Are you fucking joking, game? Is this a fucking comedy routine to you? Hey, Lozada, guess what? I don't care how fucking injured you are. Get to work, bro. You're either going to blow off your arm or you're going to be amazing, and I will accept nothing further. I just love it when you spend a lot for a brand new. You're out for 4 to 5 weeks. That's not great, but it's far less bad than losing the other guy was. And we'll call up Sam Sexton, and he can fill in a shortstop or whatever while you're healing. Watch Ignacio Tovar hits like 12 home runs a game for the rest of the season, and it's like, you fucking buffoon. TJ Lampman instantly blows out his arm. Man, just like what a fucking season all of a sudden, you know? We're gonna use Nate Flora because I want the new guy to be starting. I don't want us to be fucking around with nonsense. So please put the Cy Young winner in the rotation and not the random reliever dude. Thanks. That is a real bummer. Um. hmm. If we won the World Series, I will consider bringing back McField, but I'm not going to do it just to do it. So we'll see what happens. Joe Bach is on a hitting streak. Nice. I mean, we arguably have the best pitcher in the game in Sergio Carrillo. I think that's a huge. I think it's the only reason we're as competitive as we are this season. I think if we had somebody else in place of Carrillo, I think we'd be badly struggling. Yeah. I mean, not signing Daniel Roca to a fat contract is already proving to be pretty smart. I will offer him a contract, but it's going to be like, no, I'm not giving him 10 million a year. That's fucking stupid. 200 wins for Korea, nice. But yeah, that's comically stupid to offer him 11 million a year when he's not even pitching all that well. Maybe somebody else picks him up and he's like the best closer in recorded history, I guess. But we won the division again. We're not getting a bye. Those two things are locked in stone, I think. Um, yeah. Mostly because I think the AL East is a little bit more competitive than the Central or the West. Both of them just like beat the shit out of the people underneath them. Like a significant a reaming. That doesn't normally happen. I mean, I took advantage of it in the past. I'm not even like, you know what, you piece of shit. You should have fucking signed with me, you communist. I don't know why I just called him a communist, but it's because I'm upset. You're so good. You could have pitched for me, but you're like, no, I want 500 quadrillion dollars. I bet you'd like to stick around. I ain't paying you $10 million though. I would pay you $3 million. All right, I'll give you 5 million on it. No, oh, that's the problem. The Plums already makes $8 million. That's why. Okay. Um, fuck you, dude. You could have been mine. Could have made beautiful music together, and instead you were just a butt. Why are we leaving Andy Gillens off the roster? That's confusing to me. Andy Gillens is like a veteran player with some offensive skill. I don't see the point in leaving him off. Oh, we're carrying an extra pitcher. Oh, McField's gonna miss time anyway. Let me go ahead. No, I just need to add Gillens. I don't need to take anybody off. We'll see if McField is like out for his career now or something, making both of my deadline deals completely. He's out for 3 months, which means he's not ready for the postseason, but it's fine. Um, I can add a player to the postseason roster. I'd like to add a pitcher, please. Andres Fuentes is not the choice. I wonder if I could add. No, actually, Fuentes might be the best choice, actually. Factually. Yeah, we'll put Fuentes on the roster, I guess. All right, Carrillo. What a guy. David Jeske, did he pitch in relief? He did. Carmona had an okay day. Not a great day, but an okay day. But yeah, then Jeske just got rocked. Which is whatever. Arturo Ayala. I spent a bunch of money on you, my guy. This is your chance to prove that you were worth it. You are definitely worth it. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Good game. Good game. Now that the postseason roster has expanded, I'm gonna go ahead and take Sam Sexton off of it, and we're gonna put Cito back onto it. There we go. And then we'll play until the next playoff round. So Carmona will be back in plenty of time for open. McPhail will be back in time for opening day, but it basically means I got nothing for that trade, which makes me feel kind of poopy. But whatever. Ian Pluvios. Okay, if they can let up Carrillo, we're in big trouble. It wasn't really Carrillo. I mean, Carrillo did get his brains hammered in, but it was mostly LaFontaine and Reyna who just melted down. I mean, pretty much every pitcher sucked that day, so what if we didn't do that in the second game? Would make me a lot happier. There we go. That's better. That is a superior outcome. Damn, Carmona. Carmona really came through there. An excellent pitching performance, and the bullpen was also on point. Nice. Can we bring it home? Can the super rookie Arturo Ayala can he lock it down? He cannot. He can get lit up like the big butt he is. Mm. He gave up a fucking grand slam. God damn it. What if you don't allow grand slams? What if you try that strategy? How does that sound? All right. If there's one guy on this roster that I would put the ball in the hand of to clinch on a return trip to the ALCS, it's gonna be Carrillo. It's just gonna come down to how effective he can be. We'll see. We did it. Of course. When we needed him most, look at this. This is beautiful. This excites me. 8 strikeouts, no walks, 5 hits allowed. That's the good shit. That's why Carrillo's the man. 100%. It doesn't mean we don't have him for game 1 of the ALCS, but that's okay. That's all right. Hey, Juan Carmona's like, I can be like Sergio Carrillo. It's easy. Look. And he had a great season. A great outing. Nice. 2 hits allowed and 2 walks. I love that. I love that for us. Don't give away free base runners, and I think you'll be successful more often than not. Dave Jeske had a pretty good outing. Take a look at this here. Yeah, like our pitchers are getting it done. Um, I mean, I had a thing if we're going to be successful in the postseason, it would come down to our pitching because our offense isn't that great. But I'm certainly not going to complain when I do get amazing pitching. For sure. And there we go. Ayala just completely locked it down. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Let's go on to the World Series. Not the team I thought would make the World Series. I thought we were so flawed, and it's not like our deadline deals made a difference because both of our players who got the deadline are out for the season. Hey, I'm fucking happy about it, man. I'm not gonna complain. If we win the World Series, that's better than any like mid-season reward, mid-season awards. All right. Sergio Carrillo versus the big fat loser. It came down to the bullpens, as it should have. Who actually pitched better, though? I bet it was Carrillo. Yeah, fuck you, dude. I hope your arm dissolves in acid for betraying my team. Not that it matters. We're getting our brains hammered in, which is kind of gross. It's kind of real gross. Okay, guys, we could at least try, right? It is legal to try. It is a legal baseball decision to actually try to win games in the World Series. There we go. Dave Jeske is the man. Okay, Carrillo. Damn it. Not Carrillo's fault, but definitely Chris Lane's fault. Our amazing superstar closer wasn't even closing. Like, why the fucking hell was he closing? How does he have 6 saves? Oh, because Chris Wilson is normally our closer. Why isn't Chris Wilson pitching? A strange decision to have arguably the best closer in the major leagues and decide, what if we didn't let him close in the postseason? Oh, he was tired. Okay, he was completely gassed. That's fair. Well, poop. Honestly, borderline insane we even made it to the World Series. This is very much a lineup that wasn't built to dominate in the postseason. And I think there's going to be some hard questions to ask ourselves here in the upcoming offseason. See, we can maybe bring home one more victory for I'm an OTP genius, it's true. Um all right. We can do some really quick decisions here and then we can go from there. All right, Juan Carmona has opted in, so we're stuck with him for the duration of his contract, which is fine. I mean, hey, down the stretch, he actually had a pretty good season, so I am okay with that for now, I guess. Chris Lane, when the team needs you the most, you shit the bed. I think you get your contract voided for that. Willard LaFontaine is okay, but I feel like we can probably do better, so we're gonna void his contract too. Let's rebuild the bullpen, and see what we can get to from there. My scouting director has retired, and my GM has both retired. And a lot of people are retiring, so we've got a lot of decisions to make in the off season here. Let's break down the team. Let's break down the series, and let's see what happened here. Pat Martinez was the best player on the Charlotte Silver Bulls this year. This is not me criticizing Pat Martinez, but he should never be the best player on the team. He just shouldn't be. So, Walt, fantastic season. Thank you for your service. Clap, 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 clap. This is the biggest sign of what went wrong this season. Was taking Darren Heil off of second base a mistake? He's still a big contributor. He is still he's still a good quality baseball player. If he wasn't as great as he had been in the past, he's still pretty good. Joe Bach also had a bit of a down season a little bit, but still, again, a positive contributor. If they didn't reach the dizzying heights of the past season, they were still useful. Cito was decent. Yeah. The line between him being a good player and an okay player is just so razor thin because it depends entirely on his ability to hit. And he's not a great hitter. He can be an okay hitter, but he's not a great one. Tim Wood is here for what he's here for. He is here to be acceptable with the bat and play really good defense, and he did both of those things this year. Um, Ramiro Figueroa was not amazing for us down the stretch, but hopefully next season, he'll with a full season with the Silver Wolves, he can have a good year for us. We do have him for one more year. I mean, Andy Gillens did bounce back. There's no disputing that he is a better player this year than he was last year, but he is still far from being the kind of player that we need him to be. And overall, we didn't have. So when Heil wasn't one of the best players in the league, we didn't have a backup plan. Um, Now maybe that'll be fixed next season when we get Ankundia back. Maybe he'll be the kind of table setter that'll make the rest of the team a lot better. I hope he is, because they're paying him a lot of money. Um, but I do think Andy Gillens has to go. I know he just led the team in home runs. I understand that. But he is an absolute zero at getting on base, and yet we keep batting him fairly high in the lineup, which I've always found to be completely bizarre. Um, I think Lozada starts next year. I think Lozada starts next season. That's my take on it. Sergio Creo was amazing once again. Another fantastic season. I think he was helped a lot by the improved defense, I would suspect. But a great season. Just such a good pitcher. Is Ayala what we were hoping for? I could hope for a little bit more. Like 23 million for 4 WAR isn't a terrible deal, but if this is his best, I think we're in some problems here. Dave Jeske isn't getting the huge press of some of my other players, but he has been a very good pitcher. Like, he's gotten better every season, which I think is even more important. What did he do this year? He just didn't get hit as hard, probably because he's a ground ball pitcher and we had a significantly better defense. Juan Carmona, man, I don't know what to tell you. By far the most overpaid player on this roster. By far. He's a second or third banana in the rotation, but he's getting paid like the ace to end all aces. And that is gross. I don't love that. We've got to make some upgrades in the bullpen, I think. What does Daniel Roca want to come back? Is he still wanting like 10 million a year? Hmm. I feel like Daniel Roca's got it in him to be an excellent pitcher where he's not giving him enough chances, but I am concerned about how much velocity he's lost. I worry about giving him any kind of extended deal right now. Chris Lane thinks he deserves a contract extension. I don't agree. I do not agree. But we'll talk about it. Some people are getting some arbitration raises, which is fine, which you'll need to think about. Low key, a big person coming back next year might be Dan Sutton. If Dan Sutton can be as good as he was last season, I think we've got ourselves a nice little stealth edition in the offseason. I think he could be really good. I don't want to pay a roadie like $10 million a year. I don't want to do that. Especially when he's not even playing all the time. So, but we got choices to make. We've got some big choices to make next season. We need to rebuild the bullpen. We need to try to find another top quality hitter, whether that's just Anchundia coming in and being healthy. I don't know. I don't know. What I do know, though, is that I thank you very much for watching. So next episode is going to be a supersized one. It's going to be a full off season and a full season, and then the awards for the following off season. And then we're just gonna do some guy remembering. We're just gonna talk about some of the people that made the Silver Wolves what they are. Have a nice little retrospective at the end there, so hopefully you're looking forward to that. Until next time, this has been Eb Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.